When I was a young student, I made plasticine figurines of dancers. I spent hours manipulating those lithe and supple miniatures into 1,000 different shapes, folding and extending the limbs and flexing the spine. As I look backwards to those early days, it is clear to me that I had a sculptural connection to the body. At the core of any figurative sculpture is embedded a deep understanding of composition, a balance of form and humanity, the inclination of the head, the formation of the hand, the inner tension and focal point of the work, performing all the manoeuvres a cinematographer must in order to convey a sense of scale and context. Like most dance makers, when I first started to choreograph, it was just my body and my experiences translated into the movement invention. Later, and with the trust of a group of dancers who work with me, we began to make new inscriptions on their bodies and the audience's memory beyond our own experience. I have talked with many dancers who confirm my own observation that dancers are generous beings who are instinctively driven to give of themselves. For them and for me, the body is the canvas, the voice, and the text. It is a library supported by a skeletal and architectural masterpiece. The body is influenced by all its experiences. The encoding process and the aesthetic values of those experiences manifest themselves in the way we move, our physicality, and our ability to interact. Any training regime, and even a dancer's individual taste in music, contributes to each phase of development. I would like to suggest that dances emerge and survive to maturity despite our well-intentioned efforts. Sometimes those endeavours to help override the natural evolution of a dancer's journey. A lifelong study of how the body moves does not answer the question of why we need to dance. I would propose that although moving and dancing are two very different things, and while an anatomically well-proportioned physique is an instant help with ease of movement, it has nothing to do with sensing the body as a creative instrument for expression beyond jumping a hurdle. But moving and dancing are indivisible. As clearly as we are able to articulate our ideas with the voice, it is rare indeed to find anyone devoid of hand gesture or expression through their torsos engaged in lively conversation. The simple employment of any movement to enhance communication is a kind of dancing at some level. Every idiosyncrasy, every nuance or blink of an eye is part of a physical text or adjective to it. The shaping and phrasing of movement is as individual as a fingerprint, even when there is a shared sense of time. Dance brings us close to ourselves and closer to others. The interplay between the two stimulates and profits the performer and the audience. Some say that the primary stimulus for dance is music. Initially, there is an irrefutable link and frequently a stylistic connection between the sound we hear and how we naturally respond to it. Our response, as eclectic as it may be, will be intellectually sorted into mood, energy, and movement modality. The intellect needs to be assertive in order to overcome these natural responses, which simultaneously feel as though they are emanating from the body itself. When I first see a dancer, I'm immediately attracted to the way they move. I have no predisposition to anything other than how they interpret movement material, what they bring to it of themselves, if they give shape to sound, harmonize or disrupt line, how they add dynamic impulses to color the phrase in order to release the emotional content. Dancers have some mysterious ability to switch themselves on and off. They say, dancing is another world, another dimension. It's instinctive. My body is my taxi. It's my art and a piece of my history. I sweat with it. Sometimes it brings tears. It's a kaleidoscope of emotions. Feelings outside themselves, shifting realities that pass the liminal bridge by understanding how to transform something simple and tangible into the extraordinary. Dancers have in the past been considered the messengers of the gods, and their bodies the nexus between the celestial and the terrestrial. The body is an emotional, historical, and architectural site that lends expression to our intellectual and creative life. The body bridges what we think and what we do. The surface of the body indicates pliability, durability, simultaneously informing others of the complex patterning of the human psyche. The dancing body could be described as a state where the transformation of pedestrian movement becomes super-real, kinesthetically and rhythmically aligned to coordinate space and time, while interacting with other moving material. The body is a miraculous vehicle that allows the dancer the ability to convey concepts and emotions through the endless possibilities of combining dynamics with human gesture. The bodyscape, unlike the mindscape, is perceived by the audience as occupying a finite amount of space. Interestingly, the phenomena known as parallax alters that individual perception of what is happening and hence questions our understanding of the ephemeral apparition of direction. The physical, emotional, and intellectual demands on a dancer's body today are astonishing. Somehow, like our Olympic athletes, they manage to surpass what was not thought possible time and time again. Their bodies offer us a diary of themselves, a potent mix of passion, triumph, and critical self-analysis. Paradoxically, the body is our greatest adversary. It constantly battles metamorphosis, gets worn, injured, and finally ages just when one begins to comprehend the relationship. Reassuringly, no matter what age the body is, unveiled, it eclipses poetry, celebrates our aspirations and desires. It is a one-of-a-kind landscape that challenges and rewards all who take the time to take possession of it. When I look at a dancer's body, I look for acceptance of the instrument they inhabit. I look deep into the sentient sculpture and remember the joy of feeling I was swimming in air, of empowerment, the sheer exhilaration of it, the fulfillment and pleasure in remembering all that has been inscribed upon it.